Course Nation, Sunburn and Buffet2, welcome back to Football Trends with me, OQB. Now, in today's video, Buffet2 will be talking about the latest Kaizer Chiefs news updates or things that you need to know about, and then obviously we will be jumping to the lineup, prediction for tomorrow's game, because whether you like it or you don't like it, tomorrow we are playing against Polokwane City, of which brings me to the point of since Kaizer's traveled to Polokwane for the game against Magesi, where we won 4-1, which obviously is not something to brag about. But then ever since Sihambile Sayada, we decided not to come back to Naturana Village because we were getting ready for the game as we lala tomorrow. So obviously it wouldn't make any sense for us to say, okay, Sambile Siabuya and then Spindes travel again. So to cut those costs, Kaizer Chiefs decided to remain at Polokwane until even today. They've released pictures on Instagram of them preparing for tomorrow's clash. Now, with that being said, Buffet2, as I've said, we're going to talk about the latest update. But before we get there, please do make sure that you like the video, you subscribe to the channel, and click the bell notification if this is your first time being watching Football Trends with QB. But also, if you corner, please don't forget to like, because in the corner Buffet2 see everything in the Bama likes. But anyways, getting back to the update, now we have 3 players who are currently walking on thin ice. Those 3 players are Flavio Silva, we have Mfundo Vilagazi, we have Uspesi Ndlovu. Last but not least, we do have Unkosimpile Ngcobo. Now, those 4 players, not 3, 4 players, they're working on thin ice. Why am I saying that? Well, currently, Abachita, they have accumulated 3 yellow cards throughout, and we know how the system works. If you accumulate 3 yellow cards, that means when you get another yellow card, which is the 4th yellow card, that means you will be suspended for the coming game, obviously. So now Tina, we do have an opportunity to play against the Orlando Pirates on the Soweto Derby, which is a game that will be played, I think, next week in the 26th. So with that being said, I would love to have Flavio Silva protected, because I feel like he's a player that we would need a lot more compared to the others. I'm not saying the others are not important, but I feel like Flavio Silva is someone who can help a lot, and also he has a point. He has a point to prove. Omjita has come in to Kaizer Chiefs. Jokes were made about him. I remember Orlando Pirates. I'm not gonna shy away from that. Orlando Pirates made a video showing Flavio da Silva busy nje bicycle. I think it was when we went to, was it Turkey? I believe it was between Turkey or in Netherlands, but I think it was Netherlands. So yeah. A joke was made because Abu Silva was signing Manje last season, so definitely actually the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the season, so a joke was made about him. But now currently, as I'm speaking with you, their club doesn't have a striker who has managed to contribute those goals that Flavio Silva has managed to contribute. I'm not too sure which one is striker Sabos now how many goals for this season, but one thing I do know is our striker has about 11 goals contribution in all competition, which is something great. I feel like it's something great. It's something that shows that he is a player, even though he says he's not Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi, but you look at the goals that he scores, I think they're beautiful. Second best to Lilepo, because Lilepo, each and every goal that he scores is a banger, but other than that, we're not there. So with that being said, wasn't feeling Ngcobo, I wouldn't mind if Siamdlala tomorrow I told you a yellow card, but as I've said before, this is football, guys. We cannot predict what is going to happen tomorrow. Anything can happen, in that space and time during the game. So we might say was a yellow card the entire 90 minutes without getting anything. And then Asning is a good performance, because at the end of the day, Polokwane City is a team that does not play that quick in terms of football wise. So I think Ungcobo, this is a game that he can come in and shine, and it's something I've mentioned a lot more times than I would care to admit. And then also we jump to another story, which obviously, as I've said, we do have an update. So as I've said, they have traveled to Polokwane and never went back home. Right now there's a player, I'm not too sure if Augustin Sereno did travel with the rest of the squad, but there are players who are left behind, and with those players, part of them is George Matlow. Now George Matlow, I've just seen him, there was a video yesterday which was circulating online, trending. George Matlow was busy loaning the busy notshani silungu bafethu ngihambelwa amagama, but he was busy. I think he was using a lawn mower. He was busy loaning there. Yes, it's slow. It's slow, bafethu. The names are running away from me. So yeah, George Matlow was busy with that. And in his booze with Mara, why does he do this? Is he trying to say, guys, even if contract me pela at the end of the season, I'm going to be able to give you guys all those things that you need, because at the end of the day, I'm one of your own. I wouldn't mind. I would still do something. Something different at the club. I would be able to do that. I don't know. I'm just saying why is he doing this? So yeah, George Matlow Bafetu, we do know that he's one of the players whose contracts are coming to an end at the end of the season. So with that being said, I don't know if maybe as Ngela or he's trying to get something, So kuzobonakala makuphela season, but as I've said, he's one of the players. Also have Abu Sibongiseni Mthethwa, Bruce Vuma, Dylan Solomons. I believe contract is coming to an end. So it's George Matlow, Bruce Vuma, Sibongiseni Mthethwa. We do have was this guy, Gaston Solino. Obviously contract is coming to an end. Bruce Vuma, also a contract is coming to an end. And then also a defender who's been performing very well is Takwinika. I believe contract is also coming to an end with Pule Maudi. So those are the 7 players whose contracts are coming to an end at the end of the season. So I don't know if Omjita is just trying to say, okay, for me, I would be able to help. No but then it's fine. Moving on, we do have coach Khalil Ben Youssef talking about Kanyayo. As we've said earlier before, as I've been observing, Kanyayo, his performance has not been great. He's not been doing exceptionally well. But then the coach has spoken in terms of that, and also about how he feels the player is now finding his form and getting back. So remember, after the incident where Upule Modi manages to try and score a goal, which obviously we lost, very important point, but then he tried to score, and then Kanyayo, I believe by mistake, he tapped it and he thought he was finishing it. Basically, that's where a lot of things went wrong for Kanyayo Bafetu. It was one of the biggest things that made him lose a lot of confidence. But now, as I've said, yesterday or day before yesterday, when we played against Makesi, where we won 4-1, which is something not to brag about, but I'm just stating the fact. So Utemaka to score that goal, I feel like it helped him, gain a bit more of his confidence. So I'm hoping Uti also challenge Kopoge. But let us just hear from the coach first, and then we'll go to the lineup prediction.
So I think he had been doing a lot, and he was unlucky a little bit with 2 injuries. Then he's back. He's performing very well in training session. He's fighting, and he was a little bit unlucky in the last few games. He didn't score. But I think today it's his second goal, and he will help the team a lot.
So yeah, Bafetu, that was the coach, and I believe I would agree with him in everything that he's just said. But then moving on, as I've said, lineup prediction for tomorrow's clash, since we're playing against Polokwane City. So for me, I wouldn't want to make a lot of changes. Obviously, a mover, we're gonna bring in Brendan Peterson. I know, guys, the last game that we played against the Makesi, despite me not having electricity, I tried by all means to make sure that I watched the game, because this is my football club. I love it. So ngiyela keep your phone. I tried my plans to have data, and then a game, and I managed to watch the game. Now, the last game, obviously, Brendan Peterson could not keep a clean sheet, and I felt like it was a mistake done by Ulrich Rosler Nakona. I cannot say definitely it's a mistake, but I felt like it was unnecessary for me on my side. I think he could have let them, continue with the ball. I don't think they would have made it that far, but at the end of the day, he did what he thought was correct, and then we ended up giving away the free kick, which by sheer luck or not sheer luck, it's a well taken, well executed free kick by Magesi FC, and Mfugeng, I believe it was Mfugeng, managed to score, the goal for them, at least just to make sure and also get some confidence, because it was starting to be looking like one-sided, you understand. So with that being said, I think this time Brendan Peterson can be able to focus and continue. So for me, I wouldn't change him. I think it makes sense to bring him in. If he can keep up 4 clean sheets, then definitely that is going to help him a lot. And then also we look at the back line here too. I wouldn't change a lot. Bring in Bradley Cross, Aiden McCarthy, Inaso Miguel. Now they've given us a reason why they did not play Given him Semango. It's because of the injury. They want to preserve him from getting more injuries. So Jibafunugum protector, that is what we are getting from the co-coaches. And then also we do have a right back here too. I think I wouldn't change. I would still bring in Ulrich Rosler. Utabi Somanyan, and then Ulrich Rosler can bring him second half, because Naya, I'm not too sure how confident we are about Ilona Yake. So definitely that would be that. And then looking at the 2 center back pairings, not center back, the 2 double pivot, actually. I bring in a player like obviously my boy is a starter, but then I wouldn't mind starting a different player, or we can even start because as I've said, he can have a very good game with Ipulukwane City, but with Orlando Pirates on the derby, it's going to be a lot of pressure, and we've done that. We've seen how frustrating it was for him, so let us not do that again to him. Maybe we can bring him when things are a bit calmer, if Nakona Ksasa Masamtala he doesn't accumulate a yellow card, so that he can be suspended. So that is something that I want us to look at. With the Sundowns, I would play Nkosampile Ngcobo, I wouldn't mind, but with Orlando Pirates, they're a bit quicker, so we would need to bring or at least a different player, Ndlovu or Ox, depending on the situation. And then also moving forward, obviously attacking midfield, Mduduzi Shabalala has been finding his form, he's been doing exceptional well. And then also we jump to the front three. Just to save Flavio Silva, I would start to Kanya Samayo. I'm sorry about that. I know Kanya Samayo comes in a bit deeper. He tends to do things differently because that's who he is and that's how he plays. But at the end of the day, I would bring him in as a center forward. If that is not the case, let's take Uduba, make him a center forward between the two, and then Lelepo will obviously start at the wings. Anywhere for me it's fine, because at the end of the day I feel like as long as he manages to score a goal, that is the most important part. So that is that. And then what else I think I think that would be a proper lineup. Opule Modi, yeah, I know, but definitely they might start him, but we will see on tomorrow's game. But I wouldn't want to change, as I've said earlier or before. My case would don't change something that is working. So even now, I wouldn't change what is working because it's been consistent. I would just add on that, or maybe make 2 changes or 1 change, despite everything else, because remember Flavio Silva working on thin ice. But that is all I had for you on today's video for now. Thank you so much for watching, Bafetu. Please don't forget to like the video. Please help me get this video to at least 200 likes. I would very much appreciate that. And to everyone who's been watching Football Trends with QB, I thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Peace, love and peace, actually.